The power of composition, elements, and note the key words on your handout and write them down as you listen. In this image, the woman in the foreground wearing the pink dress is the focal point, or the emphasis. It's the thing I see first in this painting. In this image, the focal point is in the center of the page. This is actually a type of balance called symmetry. Symmetrical balance is often used in advertising. It has a centered subject, so it creates a strong impact. It's balanced, it's stable, but it also can be a little bit boring. In this image, I see that the focal point is the man who takes up half the image. This is a type of balance called asymmetry. Asymmetrical balance is a type of balance that's off-center. It's not symmetrical, so it creates a little bit more excitement and interest. I'm actually more interested in looking at it and seeing where my eye goes. It can create tension, and sometimes for effect, some artists use it to actually convey imbalance. In this image, you can see that the focal point is a child. However, the artist cropped it really close. This is a technique called cropping. It creates a visual excitement and involvement with the subject. In this image, the focal point is very high at the top of the page. When an artist uses this kind of composition, the effect is there's like a sense of floating or rising. In this image, the artist put the focal point at the bottom of the page. With this effect, gives a sinking or heaviness quality. And in this image, you can see that the artist put the samurais on the edge of the page. This is a really good effect for creating a sense of challenge or tension. We know that they're getting ready to fight. In these images, there's a very peaceful quality. This peaceful quality is created by horizontal lines. Horizontals give a sense of rest, relaxation, peace, and quiet, and sometimes even death. In this image, you can see that there's lots of vertical lines, and this vertical line gives a sense of height, of magnificence, of hope, of growth, even fear or power. In these images, they're very exciting to look at. This is created by the diagonal lines. The diagonal lines create movement and energy and even depth. In this image, I can see soft, shallow, curvy lines. These types of lines are very pleasing to my eye. They give a very sensual quality, and they come across as very gentle. However, in this image, the sharply curved and twisted lines convey a bit different feeling. These types of lines create a sense of turmoil or chaos or violence. In this image, you can see that soft, curvy lines are used, but they are connected, and so it creates a circle. These shapes create a sense of unity and love. In this image, you can see very strong diagonal lines, and when put together, these diagonal lines create a triangle. And with this, there's a strong sense of stability and balance and strength and power. But depending on the type of triangle used, you can create a sense of balance or imbalance. These are very clear geometric shapes. squares and rectangles and cubes. These shapes convey balance and stability, but they also convey a sense of trust. This is an organic shape. The organic shapes and forms have a different feeling from the geometric shapes. These types of shapes come from nature, so it gives a sense of spontaneity and playfulness. This is actually a type of lines. You can see lines in this image, but you can see that the flower has been repeated many times. This flower or symbol is called a motif. And when you repeat the motifs over and over again, you get a sense of unity. In this image, you can see kind of a sense of repeated shapes, repeated heads, and they're all the same color. But there's one element that stands out, and that is the little girl who pops up out of the crowd and she's wearing red. This is called an unrepeated motif, and it makes that the focal point receives attention and stands out.